Okay, I'm here with Nobulali Mtirara, and I hope I'm saying your name correctly. But perhaps you can tell us your name and your position and the community in which you're serving.
Okay. Ndingunkosi Nobulali Mtirara emqhekezweni.
In the community you've...
Emqhekezweni community.
Okay, yes. Okay. And how did you come into your position?
My husband was a chief. Now he passed away on February 2020. So I have to take over the position.
Okay.
Until the son is grow up to take.
So it's only been 2 years, not
Yes.
even 2 years. Okay, sure. And were there any disputes about you taking up this position?
Yeah, they were. Into ebangela uba ibe zibe khona ukuba ayiqhelekanga. We are not used to a woman to lead a community. But I'm not the first one. As you said that you've met 2 ladies yesterday. Yes. They were family or fighting because they are not used to.
So how did you overcome these challenges to take your position?
As the law agrees that we should lead after our husband has passed away, so the law took its role and they agreed that I must take over.
Okay, so you could use the protection of the law.
Not necessary protection. It was not very, very, very hard. It was the family meeting where they decided that I must take the position. It was not really to go to the court and do whatever.
Okay, so it wasn't necessary to go to the court.
Yeah.
You could resolve it in the family.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about what are the roles and duties that you fulfill in your work on a day-to-day basis?
In our community, there is a high crime rate. Raping, murdering, and stock theft. So every day in the morning, you wake up hearing the bad news about the rape. What we are doing, we visit the families and organize social workers and psychologists to do their job to the victims. But it's our daily, I forgot this word. Is that we wake up every day hearing those that there is someone who's murdered, stock theft, or rape. We do have children from Bizana, Port St. John's, and other places who staying there because there is a high school there which has a pass rate. So they come to live there. They are most the victims. So they get raped, hijacked, phones and clothes. Everything they took from them.
Sure. And when these things happen, how do you say you visit the families and you try and connect them to social workers, but to combat the crime, are you working with the police or?
Yeah, we are working. Last week we had a meeting with a provincial commissioner.
Maybe just wait for the gates. Sorry, this isn't ideal. It's going to close again. So.
You can ask the question again.
Okay.
Hold on, then close.
I've got the remote is here, Puff is... oh, there it goes. It's, okay. Okay, so I was asking when these things happen, how do you, apart from visiting the families, what is it that you are doing with the police to try and resolve these things?
We're trying by all means. We do have a police station, but it is not accommodating us because the big area is big. So the police officers are few. Maybe it's about 7 or 8 working there at night. I'm not sure about in during the day, but we short of policemen and vehicles, so it's hard to you can report to the police station that there is a crime committed, but it took about 3 hours to come for the police because there is only one van
Let's see.
to do the job
And where is the police station based?
at Biki.
How far is that from you?
It's not far. Maybe it's about 15 minutes.
Okay, so it is close, but there's not enough.
Yeah.
Okay, and within the community, what are the? You were mentioning that there was a meeting.
Yes, we had a meeting last week with provincial commissioner because there were 4 houses that were hijacked that week. Only rape that happened. The youngest child was 12 years. So we decided to call the commissioner to address the issue. But she has no way to do because it's only government who can provide us.
Okay.
So they are going to come back by the end of April. We don't know what are they going to help us with.
And is this a recent thing that's happening?
Yeah.
This is since when?
Beginning March.
Only since now?
Yeah.
So this wasn't happening before?
No.
And do you know why?
We don't know. We don't know. Sometimes the thugs are get caught. But in few days, you see them moving around the area. You don't know how.
Okay. And if you think back to when your husband was here or even before him, how would these things have been dealt with in the past?
They were happening even when he was alive.
And what would they do before? Like, say, back in the 80s or the 70s or the 60s, how would these things be dealt with?
No, it was not there in the 80s. Though I'm not from that area, as you know that I'm married too. So they say it started almost in the 90s, late 90s. But I arrived there in 2004. It was illegal. You can hear from that area that there is a robbery, stock taking, but it was not the serious. But it was not serious.
Okay.
By then. Then it grew up. By the go on.
Okay. Sure. And are there any approaches within kind of in a customary way that you would typically, maybe in the past, what is the customary way of dealing with people like this that are committing these crimes?
I think it's because of unemployment. Because, sorry, because this crime is committed by the youth. They are not going to school. Others, they drop at the early standards, maybe grade 5, grade 7. Others, they are dropouts from high school. So they are not, they don't have something to do. We don't have football or soccer or whatever to keep them busy.
Okay, interesting. Okay, let me ask you, I'm going to ask you some different kinds of questions about the things that people bring to you for help. So I wanted to ask, do people in the community come to you when they have financial challenges?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
And in your husband's time, did they come to him with financial challenges?
They did.
And how would he and his council resolve these issues if they came with financial challenges?
He was a hustler. He will go Cape Town, Joburg, to get some sponsors to help them.
Sure.
Yes.
So he would be able to raise funding?
Yeah.
Okay. And do people come to you when they have marital disputes?
Yes.
And how do you approach that?
It's difficult though, but there was a lady. Her husband was going to take the second wife. The first wife was not agreeing to the decision that the man has taken. So she came to me. I advised her, but all in all, there was no second wife. They talk about their problem, and they are okay now.
Okay. And so when people have challenges like marital disputes or things like that, do they come to you directly or do they come to you via the headsman?
They come direct to me.
Okay. But you have headsmen as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay, but they're able to come. And I'm just trying to understand how it works. So can they phone you up or do they WhatsApp you or do they come to your house?
Those who had headmans in their area, because my area is big, so there are areas that have headmans, but the one that I'm staying at, there are no headmen, so they are dealing with me direct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And then do you have a traditional court functioning?
Yes.
And can you tell me a bit about the traditional court, how it functions?
If I'm going to make an example, if someone has stolen a sheep or a cow from you, you have to come and report it to the council, and we summon that person to come, and we discuss it with the headman and the traditional council. We came up with a decision. It's either we charged him or we make peace with them. Sometimes we have to charge them.
Okay. And would there ever be a case of marital disputes or, for example, a husband beating a wife or something like that? Would that ever be brought to the traditional court?
No, not in my time. Maybe before.
Okay, but not since you were there. Okay. And in the cases where these rapes are happening in the community, do people bring that to you or do you find out about it through other means?
They bring it to me. Maybe the crime is committed at night. They will call me to call the police.
Okay.
Yes.
In the night they will call you? Okay. And then you will try to call the police, but then there's a delay. And okay. Okay. And then do you work at all with the Tutuzela, Sinawe Tutuzela Center?
I've not yet there, but the victims are bring there by the social workers and the police officers.
Okay, so the police officers or social workers would take them to
They organize
Sinawe.
them for the session there.
Okay, okay. Okay, so I'm going to ask some different questions now. Do you ever help community members when they have to deal with government departments, say like Home Affairs or?
Yes.
Can you describe?
A lot about Home Affairs. a lot about Home Affairs and SASA. Most of the time, we deal with unabridged marriage or birth certificate. I have to go there and assist them. If someone has passed away at home, I have to sign a death report form, which I take it from Home Affairs. I write the information, and then I bring it to Home Affairs, so the death certificate is.
Okay, so you personally go to Home Affairs and assist?
I go with the family.
Okay, sure. Okay. And do you do any work, you and perhaps your husband before you, in the area of education?
Pardon?
Do you do any work in the area of education, for example, with the initiation rites or the mentoring of young girls?
Not yet, but the initiation. Since we've come to the COVID period, so we do educate them before they go to the initiation school.
Okay.
We call them and have a session with them.
Okay.
Mostly the men, because I'm not allowed to.
Right, to be there.
Yeah.
And is there any education for the women that's similar?
No, we don't. We don't have.
You do the
education.
virginity testing? Or?
There is an area called Bazia Joy Family. They do.
Okay.
They do the virginity
And do you send your
testing.
girls there or not?
We do send them there.
Okay, okay. And have you done any work in the area of health? Do you work with the health department?
Yes, I did. We have a clinic there.
Oh, you have a clinic in your community, okay. And around COVID-19 and vaccinations?
Yes, we did conduct vaccination in the Great Place last year. Last year, the elderly people only at that time.
With the health department,
Yes.
you're working together,
Yes.
okay. And educating people around COVID-19 and...
Yes, we did. In the funerals, every gathering, we do educate them.
Okay, okay. And do you find people listen to what the traditional leaders are saying?
Yes, they did.
Okay, okay. It's difficult.
It's difficult, but they did. They are trying to get used to.
Do you think community members would listen more to a male traditional leader than a woman? Does it depend?
To the men, they listen to the men mostly,
Okay.
but by the time goes on, they try to be used to it.
Okay, they just need to become familiar with yourself. Okay, and during election time, I know the local elections was it last year?
In November.
Was that right? Were you involved in any way?
I was, because the election takes place at the Great Place. I was there to support.
Were you part of the IEC or just you were just
No.
there? Okay.
I was not part of it.
Okay. And would you say that the duties of a traditional leader have changed, and in what ways have they changed over time?
They change because the time, or because of the generation that they change. It's changed by the time goes on. Or you have to visit all the areas first of all. For example, my area has 14 communities, so I have to visit there just to see. They want to see their leader, not in funeral only, but even there is nothing to do, I have to come there and visit and talk to them and share their problems.
And how do you think the position has changed? If you think back to maybe 30 years ago or 50 years ago, how has the position changed? What was different?
The difference is that back then there was not a woman who lead the community. The woman is her duty is to do all the house duties, kitchen, ironing, preparing for the family, for the men. But now the time is not like that for before.
You're welcome to say it in isiXhosa if you
Okay.
want, how things have changed.
Izinto azisafani naqala ngoba kuqala kwakufuneka xa uhleli ungumntu ongumama kufuneka ulungiselele utata walapha nabantwana, upheke, uvuke ekuseni uyapheka, emini funeka ulungiselele ukutya kwasemini, uphinde naleyithi funeka ulungiselele ukutya kwangokuhlwa. Umsebenzi ke osenziwa ngumntu ongumama lowo, but ngoku akusafani because kufuneka uthi uvuke ekuseni, uvuka kukhona umntu ofuna uncedwa. Funeka umncedile ngendlela afuna ngayo. Xa ugqiba lowo kufuneka wenze ke ngoku imisebenzi yasekhaya.
So what would you say are the greatest challenges, and these are the last, I've got two more, this is the second to last question. What are the greatest challenges that traditional leaders face and that you face at the moment?
Eyokuqala kukuba abantu bethu ezilalini abanamisebenzi. Urhulumente akasihoyanga kakhulu ezilalini. Kufuneka ukuze utye sixhomekeka kuxhomeka kwi-grant yabantwana okanye kwi-grant yabantu abadala ukuze kwazi ukutyiwa. Asinazo nee-projects ngoba ii-projects xa sizenza kuthiwa masiqale kuqala silime enzeba sizobona into yoba siyakwazi na. Kulapho ke ngurhulumente akwazi khona ke ngoku ukusinceda asinike imali. Asikwazi ke ngoku ukuqala ukuqala ngoba asinazo imali zokwenza. Siyafuna kona ukwenza qha asikwazi. Bakhona oomama abazenzayo iintsimbi nabakhulisa amantshontsho kodwa ke ngoku ayikho imali le yokuqala ibhizinesi.
So I think I've been hearing you talking about the financial constraints. So what are your main sources of support or income in your position?
What am I?
Your main where is your support or income coming from to do the work that you're doing?
My job.
To be able to be a traditional leader, where is the finances or the money coming from?
From local government.
Okay.
Yes.
Just the stipend?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a salary, not a stipend.
Some people call it a stipend, but okay. And apart from that, you were saying that your husband was raising funds in Joburg and Cape Town. Was it from business interest or from, for example, international donors?
Yeah. He once visited Amsterdam and Mozambique to look for the investors and sponsors.
Okay.
But he passed away still hustling.
Okay.
Yes.
So he hadn't managed to get anything yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Sure, it's a challenging position.
Good.
Anything else that you would like to say about your position as a traditional leader?
Endingakuthetha nje kukuthi siyilali yasemqhekezweni siyacela ukuncedwa. Okokuqala ilali yasemqhekezweni kulapho kwakhulela khona uNelson Mandela kodwa ayihoyekanga. Siyacela okokuqala asinandlela, azikwazi ukuza ke ngoku ne-tourist because indlela yethu i-gravel road. Sicela ukuba urhulumente or anyone who can help us senzelwe indlela. Apho wayikhulele khona uTata Mandela kukho uRondaville but akakho sesimeni esirayithi, akalungiswa, uyawa eziba sithetha ngoku. Siye sicele ke uba ngakho umntu onokwazi usinceda afike asincede asilungiselele ilali yasemqhekezweni. Singabantu abakuthandayo ukwenza into entle, siyakuthanda ukwenza iproject, nabantwana bethu bayakuthanda ukwenza isport, kodwa asikwazi kude sifikelele kunqanaba loba sibe singabantu abaphumelelayo ngenxa yento yoba singenazo imali.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Nkosi, for your time. Are there any other questions?
Yes.
Now, in this case, just give it to like a mic.
Okay.
Because, you know, as opposed to I guess, you know, questions, reference. Because when you want
We've
to
lost
see her
it.
talking, you just say, yes, I do.
Okay.
What was your idea?
Nkosi, thank you again so much for speaking with us. I just have a few short questions. You said you'd married into the family and you became regent in place of, you are currently chief. And when your son gets older, he takes over as chief. I'd like to hear about where you came from, your family before marrying into this family.
I was born at Libote. There's an area when you go to Port St. John's. I was born there. I'm a second child. The Twakaza family. I was born there.
So what ethnic group? I don't know what the term that's used.
What language are you?
Xhosa.
So with
Xhosa Mpondo.
Mpondo. Mpondo is also the language or the group?
It's a group.
The group.
Yes.
And where you are now, where you are chief, what group is that?
Xhosa.
Also
Xhosa Abathembu.
Abatembu. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means you can come from one group and be a chief in another.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you married to that place.
If you marry.
Yeah.
And in your husband's case, so it was passed down to him from his father. It's through the family lineage.
It was from his great Jongintaba, the regent. From Jongintaba, it was Justice, his son. And from Justice, it was his father. I'm not allowed to call his name. Then it was him.
So there's nothing like voting. It is just it's passed down.
It's just from another one to another.
Okay. And how about the headmen and the headwomen also? How are they selected?
The headman is elected by the royal family, which means by the great place.
By the
great place.
Okay.
Yes. It's elected by the chief.
The chief.
Or the family.
Okay.
If the headman has passed away, maybe his son will took over. Sometimes the great place has to elect another family, another man from another family. Okay. It is not supposed to be like
the chief, where it's the same family. Okay. And you said a great priest?
Great place.
Priest.
Great place.
Place.
Yes.
What is that, please?
Great place. It's where the chief is living.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's people who live there who are the royal family who will be selecting.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you have head women under you?
No, I don't.
Only head men?
Yes.
How many do you have in total?
I have 4 headmen, and there are sub-headmen, which are 14.
14. So you have the headmen and then the sub-headmen.
Yes.
Okay. And what do they do? How do they report to you? How exactly? Yes, what is their role and how do you work with them?
Yes, the headmen partly reporting if the case is above them, but the sub-headmen report to me direct. The sub-headmen report to me directly.
The sub-headmen report to you?
Directly.
Directly, but not the headmen?
The headmen, they partly report to me if the case is above them to talk.
Which kind of cases are above them?
Maybe someone is summoned to come to the headman's place, and that person has not arrived, we counted about 3 times. So if he still doesn't come, is then they reported to the great place now.
Okay. You had said that this isn't the first time that a woman had been chief in this community. I think you said that in the beginning, right?
Not in my community, but the women that you meet yesterday or that day, they are my mother-in-laws, but from the extended family.
So when you were trying to make the case to be chief, you were able to say there are other women chiefs, so I should also be able. Is that the argument you were making?
Pardon?
When your husband passed and you were trying to almost fight for the position to become chief, were you able to say, oh, there are other women who are also doing it, so I should also be able to do it?
That was not my talking exactly, but there were family members that they made others to understand that I have to take over.
Okay. You said that when in the rape cases, when it happens, they call you and you to call the police. Yes. Why do they not call the police directly? Why do they call you first?
It's because they believe that the police does not take their report seriously. It's not like that, but it's because of the resources that are not enough from the police station. So if I call myself the police commissioner or police commander, she will make plans.
Because it's you, they will take it seriously and they will come.
Yeah.
So you're calling the commander of the police station near you, or is a higher level person?
No, it's the police station.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you see that when you call, they take it seriously, they come, as opposed to when it's the people in the community?
They do come if there is if the vehicle is around the police station, but if it is not there, it will come when the time it's right.
But I think my question is, do you see a difference in how they respond if it's you versus if it's just somebody in your community? You see a difference?
I do.
Okay. And what's the difference that you see?
Maybe 2 to 3 times. I do call to the police station. They came back to me and let me know that they are taking care of the crime scene as we speak. But sometimes she will use her transport.
The commander?
Yes.
Okay.
Because she's a lady. She will use her vehicle to go there by herself to see what is happening.
And when your husband was chief, was it also the same thing that he was able to reach out to them in this way?
Yeah.
Okay. And you talked about how people are arrested and the next day they're out on the streets again. And so they're arrested by the police and then you find them back out on the streets.
Yeah.
Okay.
They get arrested in 2 to 3 days. You see them moving around, and the police station doesn't care if I should know that what is happening. Maybe it's because of the law to know that they are discharged or whatever, or they are from the court or released by the magistrate. I don't know.
Okay, so they don't tell. They just arrest, but after that they don't tell you anything. No. Okay, so have you had to go there to follow up and try and understand?
I'm not allowed to.
You are not allowed by the law?
Yes.
Okay. Are there... Oh, before I ask that, are there any of the cases, the rape cases, that have actually gone to court and they've imprisoned people? Do you know if anyone has gotten sent to prison?
Yes.
Some of them have?
Yes.
Do you think maybe out of 10, is it 1 or 2 that go to prison?
5 over 10.
5 over 10. So they are arrested. Okay.
Yes, because I've received a call from a young man, and he is arrested at East London. He is applying for parole. So he called me that I have to help him with the documents, because there are documents before you're released. There are documents that from the family, from the victim, from the community that he was living, and the third letter is from me. So he called me to do the documents, but I've said that that is not supposed to that is not supposed to be done by me and him. It's only the police there.
But East London, East London is not, it's a different...
Yeah, it's just a different. East London is, when you go by, you pass, you know Butterworth?
I've heard of it.
It's 3 hours.
Yeah, it's 3 hours from here.
Okay, so that was someone who committed a crime elsewhere and wanted you as his traditional leader to write a letter to support him.
He committed a crime in our area.
Oh, in your area?
Yeah, but it depends to the crime that he committed. So see, he was arrested at Wellington. Then they moved him to East London, maybe because of the case.
Once again, on the rape issue, are there other forms of resolving it? So people go to the police, but do you know, are there some of these cases that people solve them in the home among the families?
No, they do report it to the police. Yes.
So people just do not resolve them in the family?
No. That one, I'm not agreeing to them to do that. It is supposed to be reported to the police. So it's the police who took that to Tuzela also now.
So do there are cases maybe where the family says, I don't want to go to the police, and you have to insist? They always want to go?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it the same for IPV?
Yes, for like boyfriend, girlfriend fighting, husband and wife fighting. Maybe there's some violence. The man who hits the woman who hits the man.
No, not yet now. Maybe before, I don't know.
Okay, but you're not, those cases are not coming to you. Okay. And when it comes to politics, well, actually, before I ask about politics, communal conflicts. Are there cases where maybe there are groups of people in the community are fighting, maybe over land, or do you have any of such cases?
Yes, they do. Most of the time they did.
And do you get involved
I have
and
to.
do you get involved
maybe in those? I gave a piece of land to you, and you don't build your house in the meantime. Maybe after 5 years, or you have passed away, there's someone who came and built her hut or her house. So your family now will fight with the family of the man who's building there. So they come and report it to me. Maybe you wake up in the morning and go and take that place, and you say, this is my place. I was given it by your grandfather or about your husband's father.
And finally, when it comes to politics, do you do anything around elections, maybe encouraging people to vote or anything?
I can let them know that there is a elections that are coming. They should vote. So I'm not allowed to go deeper. Yes.
How old is your son? Okay.
He's 17.
How old is your son? So at what age is he able to then become 17? So at what age is he able to then become
after 25 years, or maybe it depends to him. If he have studied and work, he will not come to the position in the meantime. It depends on him.
So he could be working
Yes.
So he could be working somewhere and you will be here serving. Okay. And we are not going to put this in the
42.
documentary, but how old are you? And are you of any religion? 42, okay.
Yes.
And are you of any religion?
12 Apostles Church in Christ.
Which one? Okay. Diana, is there something?
Okay. Is there any chance that your son may say he doesn't want to be king?
Now, because of the crime, most of the time I would share with him that there is a problem there, a legal crime, because I don't want to put a load on him. He will say, I don't want to do the work that you are doing. My father, his father was dead because of meningitis. Yes, so he would say, my father was killed before he was stressing himself about this. So I'm not, maybe when he grew up, he will be interested to do.
Well, thank you so very much. Well, thank you so very much for your time. Thank you for speaking with us, telling us about the work that you do.
Sophie.
Ja,
Get any kind of
ja, 'n vorm